Okay, folks, good morning. I'm going to try to continue what we were doing last night and finish cleaning up these figures. These are the Italy Africa core. One of the sets that Italy makes. This is, I think, their own casting, so to speak. The other ones are a reissue of the ones made by Eschi. Which have some odd figure poses. Even odder than Essex does. Just taking some of this big flash off, and then we'll go in there with X-Acto knife and clean up the rest. Now, the interesting thing about these figures compared to the other Africa core set that I have by Caesar is that I would definitely call this plastic softer than the Caesar plastic. However, these weapons are not warped at all. But some of the Caesar ones are kind of bent a little bit. We're definitely going to treat them with some TLC once they're painted, though, that's for sure. What's up? Go for it. Good morning. Or probably good afternoon for you. Just trying to get back in my regular routine of painting in the mornings. Or doing some hobbying in the morning. There won't be any painting this morning, but okay, that should take care of that. They don't have a whole lot of flash. I'm not sure if that's a sign that they're relatively new figures. Interesting that the boots that he has, he does not have the lace-up Africa Core boots. He has the standard, I just wore my European kit over here boots. Completely flat here. There you go. And we'll probably trim the base up a little bit. Get rid of some of that flash on the base. They don't need to have a base that big. The bigger their base is, the more you have to cover it over with goop to hide it. No flash on the helmet to speak of. Good morning, Marcus. Feeling the need to do some figures soon. Trying to get back in the rhythm of how we were working on stuff in the mornings. Yesterday was relatively successful because I decided to go back to my tried and true formula of have a cup of coffee in the evening. The two previous nights I had gone to sleep like at 8, So those two sets are nice. Part of my assortment as well. Yeah, there's I'm just cleaning up one of every figure, and I'll do the same thing with the Brits. Not because I can't stand having a duplicate. The duplicates are fine, but you need to paint all the individual figures before you start painting duplicates. I mean, that makes sense, right? Now, some of these guys are slackers. They've got their they got their pants tucked out of their boots. Like, how unfascist of you! I tell you what, when I went to Canada, I got a pair of snow boots that I absolutely love. They don't really look like snow boots. They look more like something somebody would have worn on the set of the Battle of Hoth or something like that. I don't know. They're cool. They're probably the most comfortable shoes I own. I'd probably wear them to work if they wouldn't get destroyed. But when I went to Canada, I think every day I tucked my pants into them, and man, I felt put together. That's not normally something, I'm not some paramilitary guy that's, dressed like that all the time, but man, that was really comfortable. I couldn't get enough of that. So I don't know about these slackers having their pants sticking out of their boots. Man, those shoes are comfortable. They got the bottoms of them are pretty flat looking, but they've got like these sandpaper parts. So they've got like these strips on the bottom of them that are maybe like this big, alternating, and one is grippy, like rubber grippy, and the other one is like it's sandpaper like, almost like the asphalt of the road or something like that. And yeah, I walked on ice and I didn't slip at all. But the problem with Canada is I didn't feel like I was in a different country. I guess if that's a problem. Okay, here's the NCO. Got lots of guys in this set and the Caesar set that have the little goggles that are up on the helmets. Not a lot of, yeah, a fair amount of them. Which one thing I really like to look about the Germans is when they have like those early, especially like early Barbarossa steel helmets with the little straps that come across here to hold the the foliage. I like the look of that. Inlayer sculpture unique. Some of them look like they're looking for aircraft. But I like him. I like the Caesar as well. This set and others, they do remind me of SHQ though. I could see that. They're bulkier than SHQ. The biggest problem with SHQ is, at least the ones I have from SHQ, every single figure looks like he's equipped with the same way. So in other words, they'll have like gas mask, water bottle, bread bag. Like all of them will have that. Like nobody's like missing a bread bag or has only the bread bag. Um, it's just very noticeable, and they're almost like, all right, we got to make a bunch of different guys in a figure. Okay, can we alter them very minorly? And yeah, I guess you could do that. Yeah, I think they'll all mix well. Did anybody get the Matchbox molds? The Matchbox Africa Core molds? Did somebody sitting on those? Did they get put out by somebody else? Those guys were kind of unique because they had a lot of them had their sleeves rolled up. I had the option of getting the Africa Core from Italeri that was the reissue from Eschi. I opted not to get them. There's that's where your favorite guy that you changed him. He's holding a rifle in a weird way that you really dislike. I looked at him on Plastic Soldier Company. It's like, nope, I'm not buying those because honestly, it's pretty confusing what's inside of each box until you go to Plastic Soldier Review, and it tells you what the contents of each box are. Because I would not have been happy getting those guys because they got some dorky ass poses. Now they got some hard plastic Africa Core guys that are okay looking, but the soft plastic Italeri one, the original one, this is like the second iteration of them. The other one is just a direct Eschi port, and those figures are just weird poses, just almost like they were sculpted in an odd way to make ease of molding them or something. They almost look like flats. Here we got a guy with a helmet, goggles, but a rifle. That's kind of unique. So I opted not to get those guys because I don't really have a high impression of Eschi. I don't really like the way that their figures are sculpted as a general rule. These have hardly any flash. Okay, that's a good set, which I don't have. Not sure about who has the molds. Been tempted to buy one of the AFVs from Ravel. Um, I had one of them. I sold them on eBay a while ago. It came with figures. I want to say it was a Panzer 3L, and it came with figures, but I don't think they were the Matchbox figures. Because the Matchbox figures like predate me. By the time I arrive on the scene, Matchbox is no more. Or at least the figures are no more. I worked at a hobby store and we had Matchbox kits. And as a kid, you liked them because they came in multiple colors of plastic. Yeah, it's almost like they got caught at a bad time. like, ooh, I can see this is a good time for you. They're kind of like this pose. This pose is borderline shitty. Just the way that he's kind of sitting there, like. An odd angle. Now, I did get the Eschi reissue Desert Rats. And they look alright, but they still have the whole. They got the Eschi neck thing, like the. They're very necky. But there's a bagpiper in there. Yeah, I don't like the fact that this guy's connected to the. I guess I could take it apart from itself. I could cut him off, put the mortar by itself. I probably will do that. And then I can put the mortar head here. Instead of having the figure right beside it, put him like this, so it's more natural. Two left, and then we're going to do the Desert Rats. You don't like these holding a rifle. Exactly, man. It's like, nobody's going to take it. This is my rifle. Nobody will take it away from me. It's like, okay, I got it. Just sit it down over there. Chill out, Hans. One of these guys has a really odd pant leg, too. See if I can find him. It's like a super fat pant leg. Was it a Caesar guy? Oh, not a super fat pant leg. Yeah, this one. This guy running. This Caesar guy running. If you look at his boot, you can't tell what he even has on, other than it's got the long boots, his shorts. And if it wasn't for this other one, there's no line between the actual leg and where the boot begins. I mean, I'll paint it like there's a gap in between there, and he'll end up turning fine in the end. But it's just a little awkward. But it's funny because, like I was saying earlier before you came on, the Caesar figures are harder plastic than these Itallaris. But the Itallari weapons are all like erect. None of them are molded at an angle. And the Caesar ones, I guess whether they're too thin or what have you, they definitely have some curvature to them. Okay. So those guys are done. Now, don't tell me that's another pose. I didn't. No, we have them there. Okay, good. Okay, and last but not least, the Desert Rats. Very, 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 very little flash on these figures. And good artwork by Giuseppe. I don't always like Giuseppe Rava's stuff. Sometimes it's a little too He uses a lot of white in his backgrounds. But these look good. What's these instructions? Don't put them in your mouth. As you put it in your mouth, don't swallow them. Yada, yada, yada. And these guys here. Okay, let's see. These are all unique. These are the same. These are the same as those. So let's get the little clippers. These are all right. Okay. This is the same as that set. This is the same as that set. Okay, here's the guys with the bagpiper. Okay, and this is the same set as this one. And all these are the same. I gotta bend over and pick up one guy. It might as well be four. Okay. If I'm gonna bend over, make it worth my while. There's this bastard. All right. I wish they didn't have these figures with so much elastic in their socks. It's like, man, that's a whole lot of elastic. Building an Italy Stug 3 this morning. Going to do a winter wash theme for painting. Oh, don't talk about winter. So I didn't pick up they had a set of the Panzer 4G from Armor Fast. I didn't pick that up. I didn't pick up a pair of SU-100s from Armor Fast. I didn't pick up a pair of T-34-76 Model 1941s from Armor Fast. That was the other Armor Fast stuff that they had in that store in Gibraltar. I didn't need the SU-100s. I already have two of them. I don't need any T-34s in 1/72nd scale. Mine are all 1/76th. And the 4Gs, I could do better than them. I get them 3D printed. But they were, £9.45. for two vehicles. So yeah, the that Italeri is probably a re-release of the Eschi Stug, and there's a couple things that they made. I remember back in the day, Eschi made a mess out of different vehicles. They'd reissue all kinds of different things with all very similar vehicles, and it was hard to make heads or tails out of what exactly was represented in the box. Coffee refresh, yes. But first, coffee. Yeah, notice I don't come in here in the morning without coffee. That's a no-no. All right, that Britisher is done. This guy actually has netting on his steel helmet. I'm trying to get some painting. My wife has been under the weather since the trip. I just have the cough, as far as I can tell, which has been kind of been taking a daily antihistamine, and it's gotten a little bit better. I don't think it's a cold per se. It's just really weird. What's up, Justin? This is some Italy's fast build kits. Two in a box. Have come to like these. Also have the Italian M1340s and Semaventes. I was actually on the lookout for some of those in Europe. I figure I could get them cheaper than here. Didn't see a single one of them. But I don't need them. It's like, but when in Rome. The only stuff I saw that was like a steel was those armor fast things. Like that one store that I went to in Madrid that had a lot of stuff. It was all 28 mil. All of it. So that's like easy to avoid. They have these. I saw these figures in the flesh. They're 3D printed figures by a place called. I want to say it's Reconquista Designs or something like that. And they had Reconquista period figures in 28 millimeter. They were absolutely gorgeous. They had like leaders, so and so, whatever. Beautiful figures. Beautiful, beautiful figures. Pitch black in Upper Michigan. Then again, I have no light pollution out by me. Is the sun up in Florida? Not yet. It's funny because in Europe, of course, it's, even Spain is even latitudinally, it's the same latitude as Massachusetts. And Britain, which is even further north, I swear the sun came out earlier in Britain than it did in Spain. That doesn't make any sense in the winter time, but it sure seemed that way. The day that we left Sevilla and we're going to Gibraltar, we left like at 6 a.m. or something like that. It didn't get light out until we were almost in Gibraltar. It was crazy. I drove the whole time at night. Only illuminated by the tractor trailers that were on the road, which was the most tractor trailers I had seen in Spain on any of the trips. However, they behave a lot different than tractor trailer drivers in the United States. They don't sit in that left-hand lane, not passing. They go past and get over. And of course, I almost feel like they're governed at like 10 kilometers under the speed limit. Because the speed limit was 120, which is like 75 miles an hour. And I don't mind the kilometer speed limits. Those don't bother me. I can do like a quick conversion in my head. But they just pass and get over. They don't sit in the left-hand lane, tying up the entire world. And I would say that people on the interstate drove more chill than in the United States, with the exception of, the couple guys that were driving BMWs. I think there's just a lot of hidden cameras in Europe. I think there's a lot of hidden cameras. I didn't see a single cop on the highway. And I did a fair amount of highway driving. I don't remember seeing a single cop. You build the elephant tank yet? Oh no. Oh no, that's way down the list. I might actually fix the elephant wreck before I build that tank. I have a wrecked one that I got from a estate sale / garbage dump. No, that was not off the estate sale. I bought that off of somebody. at the last convention. Looked like something that somebody had built, and then their kids got into it and just trashed it, and they tried to repair it. It looks bad. We painted the figure probably on over the weekend. Yeah, definitely in dire need of NCOs for the British. Mainly because the ones that come in the Airfix set have stens, and they didn't really use stens in North Africa. Maybe in Tunisia or something like that, but NCOs are going to have rifles or Tommy or Thompsons. This guy looks like he's going to chuck a grenade, and he's got a face that looks like Don Knotts. I should just call him Knotts. Matter of fact, I think I will do that. He's a Don Knotts looking dude. Hopefully he's less jittery than Don Knotts freaking throwing a grenade. You know. You know, if you got your mate that's throwing grenades, man, you want to make sure their feet are on solid ground, so to speak, you know? Man, this guy's helmet's all ways of chewed up. Yeah, Don Knotts always portray these characters that seem like, like a nerdy build a cat, like building a brum. Oh yeah, I do have a brum bar. Want to see it? Of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't have mentioned it. Yeah, it's finished. It's an old model. I think it was art. I think I got it already made. I honestly don't remember. No, no, I may have built it. This is one of my earlier ones. It doesn't have all the heavy. It doesn't have the heavy black lining wash. Let's kill this. A little bit more true to color. But the black wash isn't a big deal. You just go and do it afterwards. It's a cute little vehicle. It's an early Brum bar though. It doesn't have a little turret up here. Later on, they had like a little ball mount up here to protect it. This thing's got no MGs. You want an MG, you better stick your nose out there and fire. This is an old Eschi model. Cute little thing. Yeah, I think as I use them, I'm going to go in and oh yeah, the front of this was all demented. It didn't go together well at all. I don't know that it's a really useful vehicle, but it's cute. That's worth something. It is in my book. It's funny how, depending on who makes the rules, it's just really weird to see something that's like, depending on who makes the rules, it depends how good a vehicle is. And the best example I can think of is that is an ESCI. It may have been brought back by Italeri. Italeri got a lot of their molds, and that one may be available from Italeri. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that they do still make it, although it's not a very good model at all. I want to say Hasegawa makes one, and the Hasegawa one's got to be better, even though the road wheels might not be correct. Because Hasegawa did a lot of things with their Mark IVs where they regurgitated their Mark IVs road wheels, and the road wheels really are. There's no tank that uses those road wheels. Just the shape of them. It's a small quibble that most people wouldn't even notice. But when somebody tells you about it, it's like, great, thanks for ruining the ending. Thanks for ruining Santa Claus for me. Oh, now you can't unsee that. You going into work today, or you work early too? I'm pretty sure. You work in a warehouse, I think. Yeah, so it's like you hear these people like, "Well, what do you do for a living?" "Well, I work 9 to 5." I'm like, who the hell starts their day at 9? A slacker, that's who. 9 o'clock, that's almost lunchtime. 7:30 to 4. Yeah, if I make a mistake of leaving work around 5:30, the traffic in this little podunk town is just. I shouldn't say the traffic. The traffic jam, the congestion caused by a couple of red lights is just ridiculous for the size town that it is. This guy likes to blow. I Warehouse manager. Oh, I bet you love inventory time when nothing comes out right. I don't care where you take inventory, it does never comes out right. Ever. I don't care where you're. Do an inventory on nuclear weapons. Francois, welcome back. Saw a lot of those Francois vehicles in in Europe. I was surprised. I didn't know Citroën was still in business. Inventory never comes out right. You're right, and I think the biggest reason is you got nutnicks that don't put shit in a normal place. You know, you'll have like say say these items that are here in this spot and they're in four different places. When they go to load them, instead of like, well, let's just load things that are in the wrong place and it'll help clean the whole area up. No, they'll grab from the easiest place, you know, and then they bring other stuff out and they create a fourth pile. And then the same people that they don't know where anything is, but they're the ones that bring things out. You know, I've had people that, you know, that pull things out of the shop and they'll say, ask me, I don't know where this is. I said, well, you're the one that pulls it out. You should know. That'd be like me going to somebody at work and saying, hey, I can't find my socks at home. They'd be telling me, well, aren't you the one that fucking lives there? Like, you should know where the socks are, dude. Just fucking nutnicks. Good thing is, I get every Friday and weekend off. Oh, so you work 410s. Ah, well, TGIF for you, man. Yeah, I don't work weekends. You have people that don't rotate product. Yeah, exactly. They just, we hire the handicapped. I said that to somebody a couple of years ago. I was going through a Starbucks and I was like, well, how's your day going? Which I really wanted to tell them, well, you haven't brought me my coffee yet, so it's going to shit. But I didn't say that. I said, oh, just trying to get through today, you know, because we hire the handicapped. And this millennial woke bitch didn't know what I was talking about. She's like, well, that's good. Handicapped people need jobs. I said, no, no, no. I don't mean literally handicapped people. I mean, you know, people that have just inbred into stupidity. But they got blinders on, man. They can only see like what's in front of their face. They can't, you know, they can't do any planning. It's like brain atrophy. And I swear some of these people must have dirt on the owner because they never fire him. Okay, man, have a good day. Don't forget to rotate your product. Oh, I also found out that the TSA people are the biggest dickheads. We have them all here in the United States. They're all the grumpiest motherfuckers ever. The TSA folks in the other countries are much better. They must have gotten first pick. Oh, getting on a train in Europe was really interesting. We got on the train and you had to put like all of your any bags and stuff through like to the radar detector, through the metal detector, but then you didn't have to go through one. So you could be like, carrying like multiple firearms and it wouldn't matter, you know? Like, if you're going to search people, man, be consistent. Don't be like, well, we'll only do it on Tuesdays the right way. I'm like, it just doesn't make any sense. Just leave people alone or freaking search them. Or you have an employee that complains a lot. Complains a lot, fired two of them. I don't know what you're saying. We definitely have some people that complain a lot. We definitely have a lot of people that they can't shut their mouth. Like, I have never, ever, ever, never, ever, ever told somebody how much I make. Ever. Even before this job. It was like an unwritten rule. Like, why would you tell somebody how much you're getting paid? Nothing good is going to come from that. You know, and those people in the plant, they wouldn't be able to keep their mouth shut if their life depended on it. Lazy ass hell to complain about everything was too heavy. You get the guy like me who searches everyone because everyone else is gossiping and shamming. Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't realize, the best thing you can do for yourself and make sure your workday goes by quick. So the way you make your work day go by quick is you stay busy. Stay busy so you can, this week's been, it felt like a breeze, not a breeze, but has gone by really fast. I've had a lot of fires to put out. But people are just going to get used to me going on vacation because, it happens. You know, they don't want to pay you for a vacation. Well, I'm going to take it. I had one guy that was supposedly taking over for what I was doing, and he's been at the company 50% longer than I have. I've been there supposedly 47 years. Supposedly he's been at the company 47 years. I've been there 30, so he should be a pro at this. He was didn't go really well. Let's put it that way. But then I got an attitude that I want to do it right the first time because otherwise I just create more work for myself, right? And like I don't want busy work to do, man. I got hobbies and stuff that I want to get home to. I don't need busy work. Let's knock it out. Let's knock it out right. There's going to be enough changes that you're going to have to do anyways. You might as well not be the cause of some of them. Some people don't get that. Say the same thing. Stay busy as hell before you know it's time to go home. Yeah, exactly. And you're being useful. And it feels good. I mean, I want to do a good job. you know? And then it feels good. And then you can get pissed off about your boss not noticing. But at least you're happy because you know what's going on. Ooh, this guy's got some flash. All right, if that's part of the Bren gun, what in the hell am I looking at? A weird, weird casting. You've been with the company since 12th grade, 1998. Well, there you go. One of them lifers like me. I've been there since I was 23. So, since 94. Part time out of college. If I had even more responsibility than I do, then it'd be even harder to go on vacation. It's just not right, you know? I mean, when I was single, I'd just like not take vacation. They'd just pay me for it. But then they just stopped paying people for it. We got to take vacation. I said, well, I'm not just going to take it just to sit at home. That just creates other work for me. Yeah. Get the 25-cent raise, and you're like, fine, that guy give me $2 of his pay. I already do half that guy's job. I might as well do all of it, and you'll save on labor. Yeah, exactly. If you got one bad employee, the good employees don't make the bad employee better. I'm very like cynical when it comes to that. You can't you can't train people to give a shit. It's inert. You learn it from your parents. You have it built into you. I always say, if your dad's a piece of shit, you're probably going to be one too. Just go and do a good job. You know, um, you can't just, well, we'll give you more money and you'll do a better job. It just doesn't work that way. I just don't believe in that. Nice to have that kind of job security. Yeah, well, as long as the company doesn't go under, which is a lot of it is under outside of your control. But oh well. If you could get let go of, then just an opportunity to do something you like better. I would hope. Yeah, the problem we've had is we had a pretty veteran force, and they got a lot of people either retired or they moved on. So when somebody leaves, you end up taking over what they do. It's like so I'm involved doing all kinds of stuff that I normally wouldn't be able to do. I can handle it, but there's only so much of me left. So okay, folks. Well, that wraps up the desert rats, and it's time to go to the salt mines. So we'll try to do this again this evening. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate you guys.